In this video I go over the solutions to station 5. In problem 1 we're going to look at how dividing by the fraction -2/7 would be the same as multiplying by the reciprocal of -2/7. I put the purple dot on the left side to show you that -2/7 is being multiplied by x. So normally what we would do is we would say, alright, the opposite of multiplication is division, and we would divide -2/7 x by -2/7. And anything over itself is equivalent to 1, so those would cancel on the left and we just get 1x. And then on the other side we would also divide by a -2/7. Now when you divide by a fraction, what you have to do is you keep, you change, you flip. So you keep this the same, the 6/1, you change the division sign to multiplication, and then you flip, and then we multiply 6 times 7, and we get 42. And then you multiply 1 by 2 and you get 2. And this was a negative multiplied by a positive, so it's going to be a negative result. And when you take 42 and divide it by 2, you get x equals -21. And then let's also look at if we did the same problem, and instead of taking this -2/7 and dividing it by -2/7, we're going to go ahead and multiply it by its reciprocal. And the reciprocal of -2/7 is -7/2. So we're going to multiply it by its reciprocal, and whatever you do to one side you have to do to the other. So we also multiply the other side by -7/2. And over here, 7 times 2, we get 14. 2 times 7 is also 14. A negative times a negative is a positive, so it's a positive 14/14, which just equals 1x. And then I'm not going to do the whole right side again, but I just want you to notice that this right here is the same as what we have right here at this step. So this was step 1 over here, was multiplying by the -7/2, and on this problem it was really step 2 because I had to keep, change, flip. So it's faster to just use the reciprocal right away. So your answer, either way you do it, is x equals -21, but for the rest of the video I'm just going to multiply by the reciprocal. So in this problem, the reciprocal of 1/4 x is 4/1, which is 4. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. And on the right side I get 20. And on the left side, when you take 4 and you multiply it by 1, you get 4. When you take 1 and you multiply it by 4, you get 4. So we get 4/4 x, which equals 1x. So the answer to number 2 is x equals 20. Number 3, again, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, and the reciprocal of -5/6 is -6/5. Be careful that when you are multiplying the other side by the reciprocal, that it is actually the reciprocal. I saw a lot of people on this problem who wrote -3/4 times -5/6, so they didn't actually invert it. They got mixed up about which number was the reciprocal. So over here, on the left side, when you multiply these two, you're going to get 1, so we're left with 1x. And then on the other side, we're going to go ahead and cross cancel. And both the 6 and the 4 are divisible by 2, so 6 divided by 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. And then we'll go ahead and we will multiply across. So we take the 3 times the 3, and we get 9. And then the 2 times the 5, you get 10. And since this was a negative number multiplied by a negative number, the result is going to be positive. So your answer is going to be positive 9/10. Alright, problem 4. Again, we are multiplying by the reciprocal. The reciprocal here of 3/4 is 4/3, so we multiply this side by 4/3 and we're left with just 1x, because 4 times 3 gives you 12, 3 times 4 gives you 12, and that 12 over 12 is equal to 1. So we basically just, got rid of this piece over here. On the other side, we also multiply by that same value, 4/3. 4 times 1 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, and this time I didn't show the cross-canceling. I could have cross-canceled here, but I decided to just go ahead and reduce at the end instead of reducing up front. So 4 and 6 both have a factor of 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, 6 divided by 2 is 3, so the result is a positive 2/3, and that was a terrible circling job. But anyways, let's move on to 5. And again, hopefully you're getting the hang of this. We're going to multiply by the reciprocal, 5/3. On the other side, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, 5/3. And when you multiply a fraction by an integer, you want to go ahead and change that integer to a fraction, put it in fractional form. 5 times a -6 is going to give you -30. 3 times 1, I'm multiplying across, gives you 3. And then on the other side, 3 times 5, or 3x times 5 gives you 15x. And then in the denominator, 5 times 3 gives you 15. And like in the other problems, that's going to cancel. We get 1x. And then -30 divided by 3 is -10. They both have a factor of 3. So x equals -10, and then finally the last problem. Oh wait, there's only 5 in this set, I forgot. So that is all of the problems from Station 5.